Hello and welcome to Baseplate Reviews. Today I'm going to do a quick run through of all the LEGO Star Wars deals and new sets releasing that are coming up starting May 1st and running through to May 5th, because as always LEGO celebrates Star Wars Day, aka May the 4th be with you. Before we get to all the LEGO releases and deals, I'll start off by asking the question straight away to all of you watching: is LEGO Star Wars now the most relevant thing in the Star Wars sphere? I know that we've got two upcoming shows in the animated shorts for Tales of the Empire releasing May 4th, and then the pretty awful looking The Acolyte for a month later on June 4th, but I know that we've cancelled our Disney Plus subscription in our household and get the feeling that no one's too excited anymore. What's your views on new Star Wars, both LEGO and the movies and shows? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, onto the LEGO website. And we can now see all of the upcoming awards, which include 3 gifts with purchase or GWPs, which are the Trade Federation Troop Carrier with Star Wars purchases of $160 or more, and that is 210 Canadian or 145 British pounds. A Polybag AAT with purchases of $40, 50 Canadian or 35 pounds. And then finally, if we go down, there's a collectible coin or disc for the Battle of Yavin with purchases of $90, 115 Canadian. We'll take a closer look at those in a moment, but I'll summarise all of the deals first, because in addition to those GWPs, we've got some differences between North America and Europe. In North America, we've got 3 sets that have some money off if you redeem a code from your LEGO Insiders account, and these start with $30 or 40 Canadian off of the Ghost and Phantom 2 that we last saw in the Ahsoka TV series, $35 or $50 off the buildable Chewbacca, and then finally $15 or 25 Canadian off of the Emperor's Throne Room diorama set. In terms of percentages, the discounts are just very slightly greater in Canada than the US. After those discount codes, there are 5 other sets where you can get 4 times the usual LEGO Insiders points, and as they normally work out to be worth 5% of your purchases, this means you're effectively getting points worth 20% off of these 5 sets, which are the huge UCS 8080, the minifigure-filled Mos Eisley Cantina, the UCS X-Wing, the Coruscant Guard gunship, and then the finally also fairly recently released New Republic E-Wing versus Shin Hati Starfighter, which is another Ahsoka set. Europe's doing this a little differently, as they don't appear to be having the 4 times the points so far as I can currently see, and instead have several of the same sets on sale, including the UCS X-Wing and 8080 plus the Mos Eisley Cantina, the Ghost and Phantom 2, the Coruscant Guard gunship, the buildable Chewbacca and the New Republic E-Wing again, but they also have the UCS Luke Skywalker's Landspeeder with a £40 discount and £30 off the Yavin 4 Rebel base. All of these require you to have LEGO Insiders membership, and you just need to log into your account, and if you go to the rewards section, you should find these codes available under the Star Wars Day members sale section. The discounts are all around 19% up to 21% for that New Republic E-Wing set. Crazy that such a blockbuster show like Ahsoka would be having sets discounted. Lastly, also available from the Insiders Rewards section is a limited edition art print by New York-based Star Wars artist Joe Hogan, if you trade in 1800 Insiders points. So quite a lot of deals there, and of course the thing to do if you want to maximise value and the amount of extras that you can get is to stack up those discounts or 4 times points with the gifts with purchase. From my experience, it's normally possible to put in separate orders if you are spending quite a lot, and you can normally get those GWPs twice over, or more if you're really smashing out. Let's take a look at these gifts with purchase then, starting with the AAT Polybag. And I'm just going to say it, even though this has 75 pieces, they're all pretty tiny, and I think this is pretty much irrelevant. It's just not an iconic Star Wars vehicle like if you've got a tiny X-Wing or TIE Fighter, so yeah, you'll get this if you make a $40 purchase, but you're not really going to care. Next up is the Battle of Yavin coin from the original movie, and you get this with $90 purchases. From what I can gather, some people weren't impressed with a similar gift last year, which was the Return of the Jedi coin. For my part, I think this is fine. It's a nice collectible and should go together well if you do have 2023's one. Finally, with 160 US dollar purchases or 210 Canadian or £145, we have that Trade Federation troop carrier, and I think a lot of people will like this one. This goes back to the prequels, specifically the Phantom Menace, and because it comes with 8 droids just by itself, it helps to start build up an army, and I think some people will try to split out purchases just to get a couple of these. I think this is a pretty good GWP, even if it's at that higher purchase threshold. Now, in order to get those gifts with purchase, you'll have to spend on Star Wars sets, and it looks like we have 7 new ones plus an interesting coffee table book, so let's check them out. The biggest and most expensive new set is the Ultimate Collector Series or UCS TIE Interceptor with 1931 pieces that comes in at 230 US dollars, 300 Canadian or £200. This looks like it's going to be a great display piece, and unlike some recent UCS sets, it really is an iconic vehicle. I can see why this would be far more desirable than something like the Land Speeder from a couple of years ago. I thought it might come with an exclusive 25th anniversary of LEGO Star Wars minifigure, but we just get the Interceptor Pilot with this one. Pretty good, and this by itself would qualify you for all the GWPs. Next up, we get another of the Diorama sub-series, and this time it's a Phantom Menace scene with the Mos Espa pod race, where Liam Neeson's gambling-addicted character Qui-Gon Jinn bets on Anakin Skywalker winning a pod race in order to get a few spaceship parts, and to get Anakin as a slave. Sorry, I mean apprentice for himself. If you do like these dioramas, I actually do think this is decent, and for quite a drag of a movie, this is one of, if not the most iconic parts of it. Too many of the 718 pieces have been used to build the backdrop, in my opinion leaving Anakin's pod racer looking a bit threadbare, but Sebulba's orange racer looks pretty decent. No minifigs with this set, I'm afraid, and at $80 it would have been nice to maybe get a Sebulba minifig maybe. We get another Phantom Menace set up next with Darth Maul's Sith Infiltrator, and I think we've got a little shrinkflation going on here with this version of the Scimitar or Infiltrator being smaller than previous iterations. The minifigs look pretty good with a child Anakin, Darth Maul, and the gambling fiend that is Qui-Gon Jinn. Anakin's probably hoping that Darth Maul's coming to rescue him before he's gambled away for a pint of blue milk. On top of that, this is the set that comes with an exclusive 25th anniversary of LEGO Star Wars minifigure, and this is Saw Gerrera, who first appeared in the Clone Wars animated series, but I believe this minifig is based on his appearance in Rogue One, with Forrest Whitaker playing the character. As this is the first time the character has been in minifigure form, the set may prove popular because of that, but I don't think this is overall too special a set for $70 US and 640 pieces. We then get a buildable figure in the Droideka, which is again a Phantom Menace based droid. In general, I'm not a huge buildable figure fan, but I think this works best with the droids rather than organic characters, and I actually think this looks pretty impressive with some outstanding posability to make it curl into a ball. This is a fantastic representation of the actual film character for the 583 piece count. It comes with a little mini build as well and a nameplate, and that 25 years of LEGO Star Wars brick too. I might argue that this is the pick of the bunch for this May 4th release schedule. We then move on to a playset with the Bark Speeder Escape, which I believe references a flashback sequence in The Mandalorian showing how Grogu escaped the Jedi Temple after Order 66. The thing is that he escaped thanks to the help of the characters shown in minifigure form here, that is Kelleran Beq, and this is apparently a Star Wars character first introduced into a weird kids game show called Jedi Temple Challenge in order to give Jar Jar Binks actor Ahmed Best a job. Whoa. Who knew I could still harbour such resentment to that character? Well, I do, so I suppose I have to own it. You're getting a couple of 501st clone troopers with this, and Grogu along with the speeder. I honestly don't think too many people are going to care too much about the Kelleran Beq minifig, but the Star Wars and then the LEGO Star Wars community do really like some things I think are tangential at best, so who knows. I can see this being available on discount in the future. I've left the brickheads to last, but we start off with a huge 6-pack of Phantom Menace characters, including all your favourites like Qui-Gon Jinn, Darth Maul and Anakin Skywalker. Cradle Snatcher Queen Amidala's there too, and the iconic, the immense, the I don't remember him, Captain Panaka is here as well, plus the other one. I don't know why Obi-Wan Kenobi isn't with these, but it's probably because he's been represented in Brickhead's form elsewhere. I actually think this is pretty good in terms of value, with each figure working out at $9 for the overall $54 price tag. The Amidala and Darth Maul figures are striking, and even though we all despise him, the Jar Jar Binks one is a good representation too. After that 6-pack of Brickheads, we have a single one in the Clone Commander Cody one, and this has the 25 years logo on the box. I understand this is a pretty popular character from the Clone Wars animated series after initially appearing in Revenge of the Sith. It's nice that people have a $10 set to pick up rather than only having a Brickhead's choice of that 6-pack or various other double packs that get released. I think this is something people can purchase on a whim and it looks decent enough. Finally, in terms of new things releasing, we have a $150 coffee table book in The Force of Creativity. And this looks like it has a lot in its 312 pages about everything LEGO Star Wars, including the sets of course, but also the video games and more. This looks pretty cool for hardcore LEGO Star Wars fans, but it's definitely up there in price at $150 or £130, and I couldn't see it at all on the Canada website. The other thing to note is that this is only available for pre-order starting on May 1st and doesn't release until 20th of July. Plus, and this is important to note, it does not count as a qualifying purchase towards any of the gifts of purchase. Are any of you planning on making some May 4th LEGO Star Wars purchases? Let me know if you are in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for more LEGO content, and as always, be good.